So for the Panthers to win, I feel like they need more offensive pressure early. And they just need to throw fucking pucks to the net. Just throw it. Like, you saw what happened when they threw it on that second goal on last game. It was like, you throw it to the net. I'm not saying you're going to get that kind of bounce every game, which is a wild, crazy bounce. But like, you're going to get something happen, right? You're going to have something go. Like, if you just throw it to the net and have guys in front, and Kachuk's scrappy, and a lot of their guys and on their team are pretty gritty players that they can kind of position themselves in front of the net and just get some good positioning there, like inside positioning, they can generate something, you know. And I know Hill's a big dude, and he's not a guy that really moves around his crease at that much, but still, like, they got to get something going, as opposed to a lot of what they're doing now is like a lot of the shots are from the far outside. It's like, it's not even like in the hash. It's like outside of the face-off circle sometimes, you know. They got to get better chances, and they're not getting odd man rushes. They're not getting these for a majority of the time, but they're not getting these like center point blank one-time shots that Vegas Knights are actually getting. They're not sniping Aiden Hill, except, I mean, that was a good snipe in OT, but for the Panthers in game 3 there, but for the most part, like, they're not getting crazy offensive pressure and chances and really good ones. And I think they're going to have to adapt to just where any shot is a good shot, right? I know that's not exactly always the right play, but I think at this point, when you're down 3-1, you got to pepper Aiden Hill, and not recklessly, you know, like, don't just cross the blue line and just throw it at the net or whatever. But like, hey, like, if you got it, and like, there was a play with Barkov, I think it was it game 4? Some play, I think it was game 4 or game 3. But he was in the front of the net. Like, he was right there, and then he like tries to pass it. It's like, dude, I mean, shoot it, you know? That's fucking Barkov. Like, he's not some scrub at all. So like, try to shoot it. And it just didn't. They didn't. Like, I'm confused sometimes as to why they don't shoot the puck more when they're in the, like, inside the dots, like inside the circles, right? Just shoot it, and hopefully something will happen. You got a guy rushing. You got big guys on your team. You got something. You got to shoot that somehow, you know? But like, we'll see how they adjust. We'll see what they decide to do in terms of in the effort to get more scoring chances. That's a huge thing. I think those are a couple things that are going to help them at least get some level of success moving forward. I think another one on the defensive side is, I mean, I could be off on this, but I feel like they got to move people out of Bobrovsky's way. I think it was last game actually that there was a goal where basically a guy was in front. I mean, there's been a bunch of these goals in this game, especially for game 1 and game 2, where guys are in front of Bobrovsky and he can't see the puck. Like, that's, he can basically save anything else, like, and he's shown it in this series and in the last series and basically this whole playoffs. But he can't really. It's hard for him to say. It's hard for any goalie, really. It's hard for any goalie to make the saves, but hard for him to make the saves he can't see. And he's got to be able to see the puck. And like, I just feel like the defensively, right? Like, it's not like, it'd be one thing if, okay, they let the guy stay in front of Bobrovsky, but in the, you know, instead of clearing the guy out of the crease, they take away the scoring opportunity, or they take away the second chance opportunity. But it's not like they've been doing that either. It's like you have to do, I feel like you have to do one or the other, right? If you're going to let the guy get in Bob's face or take away his vision, at least try to stop like another scoring chance, or the maybe block a shot or something. But if they're going to let the guy stand in front of his face, and then Bobrovsky makes a save, and then they pick up a rebound, or it's a one-timer and the guy blasts it to the side, like, I don't know, like, is that better? Bobrovsky has been so good, and like I said earlier, like, I feel so bad for him. He's playing so well, but it just doesn't translate. It doesn't look that way because of the, you know, the blowouts and also just the giveaways. And like, I don't think people realize how good of the stops he's making. You know, I don't know how many shots, like, by the second period, the Knights already had like, what, over like 15 shots halfway through the second period or something. Or even in the first period, they had a lot of shots, and they were really good shots. Like, they were really good opportunities. And it's just like, it kind of gets lost how well Bobrovsky makes those stops when they're down 3-0 in the second period or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think you got to keep the net clear of these, of the Knights. And when, you know, in this next game, you got to stop, you got to let them see the puck, right? And I've said in earlier videos, Bobrovsky right now, I thought he was the best goalie, at least coming out of in the conference finals round. I thought he was the best goalie remaining. I just think that you take away his eyes, you take away his vision, take away the vision of any of the goalies remaining in the last 2 rounds or whatever, and they're nothing. They're Swiss cheese, right? So like, you know, he's really good. He's kept them in. I think he's a big reason why this game was only 3-2, but you got to help him out with his, you know, with being able to track the puck. I think that's huge. I think it's gonna be key for them to stay in it. And last, I feel like the Panthers are going to need someone other than Tkachuk or Barkov to also step up. I just feel like I know Tkachuk's going to play well. Hopefully, he seems like he's pretty banged up, and hopefully he's not injured in a way where he can't play as well. Or even Barkov too is probably banged up, and we'll probably find that out after the playoffs or whatever. But like someone else has to step up and step up in a big way. I mean, I know Eric Stahl's pretty old at this point, so it's not like he can be the same Eric Stahl of years past or whatever, but like someone, Reinhardt, Verhaeghe, someone. I know Bennett's he got a bunch of shots last game, but someone's got to step up in a way where it makes the life of Tkachuk and Barkov and Bobrovsky back there easier. Smart, even if it's like Gudis and these guys, like just be an enforcer a little bit or make smart defensive plays. Don't just throw the puck off right back to the point or whatever, and don't have bad line changes. Don't, let the Knights have a point blank shot in the slot like they did last game. Something, but there has to be some level of like, I don't know, something different that you bring to the table this game that Vegas hasn't seen, because so far they've stopped them all. And I don't see the Panthers really, if they don't play any differently, I don't think they're going to be, we're going to see that cup skating around T-Mobile Arena there. And so like, I think the Panthers, this is it, right? This is their last chance. I think that they got to give it everything they got. But I think that they need help. They need help from guys that aren't normally, they're marquee guys. Like just like you saw with Chandler Stevenson. I mean, you've seen it with other teams in the playoffs. Like, you got to have support from guys that aren't normally top line players to just contribute in a way offensively and also defensively and do things that will help the team. So I'm honestly, I don't know if the Panthers have it in them to pull this one out, but you cannot doubt them every step of the way. Everyone's doubted them, whether it was a season, whether they would make the playoffs or not, whether in the first round they would come back to beat the Bruins, go up against the Leafs. They swept Carolina. Like, every phase of the game here they've played, they've been doubted. And who knows, like if they come back, I said a while ago, if they come back and beat the Knights from being down 3-1 and win the cup, probably one of the greatest, maybe the greatest run of all time in a season. One that's that could be made into a movie one day for sure. But we'll see what they can do. They got to win this one first, so we'll see if they can pull that one off.